Imagine landing in London, exhausted from your flight. You confidently stride up to your rental car, hop in, and you are staring at the glove box. You are on the wrong side. We have all been there. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder why jumping across an invisible border suddenly flips the entire flow of traffic? Well, the side of the road you drive on today was not decided by modern traffic engineers. It was decided by paranoid medieval knights, massive horsewhips, and Napoleon Bonaparte's ego. Buckle up, because your boring morning commute is actually a 1,000-year-old ghost story. Every single morning, millions of us merge into the chaotic rhythm of the urban commute. If you are navigating the neon-lit streets of Tokyo or tracing the Thames in London, hugging the left side of the lane feels like an undeniable law of nature. But cut to the sprawling grids of New York City or the dizzying roundabout of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, and that law instantly flips. Suddenly, driving on the right is the only way you survive the rush. It creates this beautiful, confusing friction. Bewildered tourists hesitate at crosswalks, looking the completely wrong direction before stepping off the curb. Travelers get totally disoriented trying to navigate massive intersections in unfamiliar rental cars. It is natural to assume that some urban planner did some complex math to decide which side made the most logical sense. But the truth is infinitely weirder. The rules dictating our hyper-modern highways were actually written centuries before the automobile existed. To uncover the true origins of our traffic gridlock, we have to rewind the clock back to the Middle Ages. Imagine a world where violence was common, roads were narrow dirt paths, and strangers on horseback were highly suspicious. In this hyper-paranoid society, almost everyone traveled on the left side of the road. Why? Because the vast majority of humanity is right-handed. If you are a knight riding down a sketchy forest path, you want your dominant right hand entirely free. By riding on the left, your right arm is positioned closer to the center of the road. If an oncoming traveler draws a weapon, your sword is exactly where it needs to be to strike. For hundreds of years, this combat tactic dictated the flow of traffic. Left-hand travel was the ultimate survival mechanism. But then, the 1800s arrived, and the entire script got flipped by massive wooden wagons. Welcome to the agricultural boom. To move heavy crops, farmers began using massive vehicles known as Conestoga wagons. These freight giants were pulled by teams of 4 to 8 powerful horses. Here is the critical mechanical twist. These massive wagons did not have a driver's seat. Instead, the driver rode on the very back left horse. By sitting on the rear left horse, the driver could easily hold his heavy whip in his dominant right hand, gaining the leverage needed to control the team. But sitting on the left side created a massive blind spot. If two massive wagons passed each other on a narrow highway, drivers needed to ensure their fragile wheels did not lock and shatter. By forcing the wagon to the right side of the road, the driver sitting on the left horse could look straight down and see the exact distance between his wheels and the oncoming traffic. So, the world was split into two camps: left-driving traditionalists, holding onto sword-fighting tactics, and right-driving innovators, pushing agricultural freight. And then, human ego took the wheel. Napoleon Bonaparte, who was entirely left-handed, notoriously hated old military traditions. As he conquered Europe, he forced everyone in his new empire to travel on the right side of the road, spreading the wagon driver rule across the continent. Meanwhile, the British Empire stubbornly refused to change. They codified left-hand driving into law and exported it to their massive global colonies, embedding ancient sword-arm logic into the infrastructures of India, Australia, and beyond. The final nail in the coffin came when Henry Ford rolled out the Model T, placing the steering wheel on the left side so passengers could safely exit onto the sidewalk. Ford's engineering permanently cemented right-hand driving for the Americas and much of the modernizing world. It is wild to think about, right? As you glide through an empty canyon road at dawn, or watch the morning mist burn off a perfectly paved stretch of asphalt, the lines painted on the ground feel like permanent fixtures of reality. We rarely stop to think about the invisible history baked into the pavement beneath our tires. So, tomorrow morning, when you fire up the engine, merge onto the highway, and grab that steering wheel, take a second to look at your hands. Whether you are navigating a bustling London roundabout or cruising down an open American interstate, your daily commute is so much more than just getting from point A to point B. Depending on what side of the yellow line you are on, you are either gripping the heavy reins of an 18th century freight wagon, or you are resting your hand right on the hilt of a medieval broadsword.